Hi guys, Mr. Montesano here, back again to help you with your next phase, which is phase 2 of 3 for upcoming Exploratory. So, congratulations, first off, you got through phase 1, Exposure Week. So we're going to go over some things in what you just experienced, and then look towards the future and give you the guidelines to help you out. It is very crucial that you pay attention over the next 10 to 15 minutes of this video, because there's not too many serious conversations we have together that you hear from guidance, but this is one of like 4 throughout the course of the year. I'm usually going to answer about 90 to 95% of your questions, and after you watch this video, I will be answering any questions that you still might have. Your parents are being sent this video tonight, so they can see also, and then tonight you're going to be filling out a freshman exploratory form, which is basically your top 10 favorite shops, but we'll go over all those details very shortly. Okay, so next we're going to go to the freshman exploratory, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink my screen to the bottom right so you can see the shop placement process. It's pretty cumbersome, which is the reason why I don't want to tell you all of it at once. So there's a lot of detail basically involved. And so the title of this little mini presentation here is going to be the shop placement process, how to give yourself the best possible chance of getting your #1 shop. As you see right here, you guys just endured going through phase 1, exposure week. You were exposed to all 19 areas. The next thing you go through is going to be phase 2. That's going to be 8 shop weeks long. Now, if I want you to really think about this, 8 shop weeks, we're a bi-weekly school. So academics one week, shop the next. The next time you go through 8 different shop weeks, it's going to be the mid to late January, okay? Which then leads you to phase 3, which is final placement. So keep that in mind. So let's recap a little bit about phase 1 here, okay? It says, let's recap what you did during exposure week. Because, step 1, phase 1, same thing, is basically exposure week. So let's recap. What did you first do? You did the 1 week long shop placement process. That was the first thing. The second thing you did was every student was exposed to all 19 areas. So, okay, so you should have a good idea what you might be interested in. Third, okay, you see, you kept an open mind about trying different shops. So, guys, maybe you weren't too keen on cosmetology, but you might have ended up liking it in the end. Girls, maybe electrical wasn't your thing. So now you realize that it might be something you want to explore further. The next thing, next bullet point that you see, is you learned how to navigate the library, and obviously you did the Naviance Career Inventory with guidance. Me or one of my lovely guidance counselors. And lastly, you're going to be giving out today, that's going to be due, and I'm going to keep pointing to it, is you're going to be giving it out today, and it's going to be due tomorrow, September 14th. Okay, so let's go on to step 2, which is going to be your exploratory phase. Okay, so here you see that step 2, phase 2 basically, is exploratory. So it's 8 shop weeks long. We already talked about that. It begins, your first exploratory begins right after your next academic week, which is going to be Monday, September 20th. So it's coming fast. So make sure you're ready. Last exploratory will be, so number 8 will be in the middle of January. So what basically happens here, guys, okay, in exploratory? You're going to be able to select your top 10 favorite shops that you went through of the 19. You are guaranteed to get your top 3, but in no particular order. And so you can receive your #1 shop in the last week, in the 8th exploratory, which takes place in March. You might receive your #1 in the 5th week, which might be January or December. But keep in mind, students, you're only guaranteed to get your top 3. Okay? You're only guaranteed to get your top 3 in no particular order. So make sure those top 3 that you select today are going to be the ones that you absolutely will want. Now, the last rule that you also have to be privy and be knowledgeable of is going to be your non-traditional shop. Everyone must select a non-traditional shop. So guys, cosmetology, you're looking at different types of other shops like dental, which is another non-traditional, early childhood education. It's going to be a couple more. There's 4 total. make sure that you must select one, or one will be automatically assigned to you. So if I don't see it on your list, just one shop, one non-traditional shop, and once again, I'll make sure you see what those are by the end of this video. You have to select it no matter what, because if you do not select one, at least one non-traditional, then one will automatically be assigned to you. So let's look a little bit further at what the exploratory document actually looks like. What I'm going to be sending you via your Google Classroom tonight. Okay, you got to log on to your Google Classroom. Everyone is joined at this point. So let's go a little bit more into it. So it looks a little bit like this. All right, when you click on the link that I send you, it's going to look like this. You type in your name. So obviously, my name is Mark. Okay, but Mr. Montesano, for the heck of it, let's just do that. Okay, go forward. Now, these are basically the rules that we've already gone over. By checking this box, you accept the rules of exploratory. You can't move on without it. Basically, you know the rules to exploratory, and you are accepting these rules. If you don't accept them, you can't go through it. So accept the rules. If you have a question about it, it's going to be time to ask me after this. So you'll see students will choose and rank out their top 10 shops out of the 19. Students are guaranteed to get their top 3 shops in no particular order. We've already gone over that. Even though students have given a list of their top 10, any shop can be given to you at any point. So you give me a list of your top 10, and let's say graphic design isn't in it, and you somehow get put in it, don't come crawling and complain to me. You understand that this is part of it. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I can get a good majority of your shops for your 8 weeks. It's not going to be all. There will be a lot of people. Okay, 70 to 80% of you will land at least one shop outside of your top 10. Okay, so do not be concerned. Don't see the guidance counselors out to get me. He didn't give me anything in my top 10. No, it's happening to about 70 to 80% of you. Okay, well, at least get one shop outside of your top 10. So please understand, I'm trying as hard as I can to get you in, but there are number limits. So there's only so much that I can do. All right, so all students will experience at least one non-traditional shop. We were just talking about this. So look at this. Males, your non-traditional shops to choose from. It just has to be one. But I mean, guys, if you have more than one of these you want to explore, by all means do it. So, but at least males, you have to at least choose this one of these shops. Otherwise, you'll be automatically put into one. Females, you're a little bit easier, okay? Because at some point you probably experience at least one of these shops that you're on your list. And this is not me, coming up with this and being mean towards anyone. This is actually a generated list of non-traditional shops decided upon by the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Ed here. Okay, so if you have a problem with it, definitely go and talk with them. And the final step, you can always go back and forth just so you know. Let's say you didn't remember the names of the shops that you had to choose from for non-traditionals. You can always go back. Here we go with your actual choice. Students are guaranteed, okay? So once again, guys, I am telling you, please, please, please look and make sure that these top 3 are exactly what you want. Because when you submit, you're not going to have a chance to go back, okay? So make sure those top 3 are exactly what you want, all right? Now the rest of them that you see here, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all right? Make sure you fill those out. You have to do a student signature, okay? So I mean, you do it as best as you can. Mark Montesano. Okay, now as parents sign, if I have a question about a parental signature, I will call home. All right, ask any previous student. I've done it at least 3 to 4 times every year for questionable signatures. So parents, please don't sign like this. Don't sign like that, because I will call home to double check to make sure we're all on the same page. It's me being cautious because you have to understand that when students put things down, sometimes they don't want to check in with you. And if you call in the 6th Exploratory in January saying, why didn't little Johnny get, I don't know, plumbing? Well, because he never had it on his list. Did you look at the video that we played, and did you look at what he chose? Well, no. Okay, well, your son signed off, and you signed off on it right here saying that you did. So, you will be able to look at and watch this video and fill this out together. Then you just click submit. All right, it goes directly to me, and everything's good from that point forward. Now, there's also talk here, and we're going back to the PowerPoint here. Safety for all. When you get placed in your shop, respectively, there is shop safety protocol. So what will you need to wear? How do you get graded? So I'm going to ask those two. I'm just going to go into the shop dress code restrictions. So keep in mind, make sure you go to my website, and that's going to be bpguidance09.weebly.com. Okay, you just go to shop dress code restrictions. It's right underneath shop placement process. You scroll on down, you'll see exactly what's required of you. 9th grade exploratory. So if you're in automotive for the first week, this is what you need to wear. Okay, so keep that in mind too. So that is the shop code dress restrictions. So now let's go to how can you actually earn your number 1. So what you see here is how I grade you, because not everyone gets what they want, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, unfortunately, that's not how the world works. So how do we grade, and who chooses first and who chooses last? Easy. 60% is going to be your weekly shop grade. You get graded in shop starting in Exploratory 1. Next, okay, you get graded every week, so make sure you're attending, you're making up any work that is missed. Okay, secondly, you're graded on your academic grades. All right, basically I convert all your A's, B's, and C's. That's why I'm trying to tell you, try as hard as you can now, people, because if you don't, it might come back to bite you in the butt. And everything counts. So like, let's say you have a 78 in a class, and that's a B+. And then you have the extra credit opportunities like color or, I don't know, do an extra credit, just 1 paragraph to help you out, and you don't do it, and your grade stays a C+, and when it could have been a B- by just coloring or writing 1 extra paragraph. If you unfortunately don't do that and you get a C+ and someone else gets a B-, they could be as much as 25 to 30 spots ahead of you come final placement. The difference between a B- and a C+ can sometimes mean 15 to 20 spots, if not more. Okay, so you have to be willing to put in the time and the effort in your academic grades if you want this to pay off for you to get your number 1. Once again, as I said in previous videos, this is all, you're all on a clean slate. So the last couple of things here, as you see, conduct. All right, I just take your behavior reports from the entire year. Okay, so I'm going to say this now because it's always been the Achilles heel of everything. But vaping, okay? Vaping is a big thing. Obviously, it's going on in schools. I'm telling you right now, we dock for that. I will dock you points off every time there's a behavioral conduct. It could be something as simple as a detention. It could be something a little bit more complicated, like an in-school suspension or out-of-school suspension. Obviously, a detention is on the bottom, in-school suspension is in the middle, and out-of-school suspension is on top. The infractions get docked higher points, the more the worse the infraction. So make sure you're behaving appropriately in school and at home. So, and the last thing is attendance. It's going to be really hard for you guys to screw this up, okay? Because attendance is more lenient than ever. Basically, if you have a doctor's note to cover your days, you're fine. If you're out more than the allotted time, you have to be out for a specific reason. And you'll be hearing from me if you're an attendance concern. So this is something I work with you closely on if you're an attendance concern at all. So really, good majority of you should get 100% in the attendance realm. So that's it. 60 plus 30 plus 5 and 5 equals 100. And then I take basically all these scores, I combine it into a point scale out of 100 points, and I rank you number 1, who picks first, and who picks last, which is 350. It's the fairest project and fairest way we've had since it's been instituted over 15 years ago, and we haven't changed it since. So now we're going to go to the next thing, which is how to get to my website in case you need to, because you wanted to see the dress code restrictions. We need to make sure, okay, and this is what it is right here. Obviously you see it, bpguidance09.weebly.com. And when you get there, keep in mind you have the shop dress code restrictions, but also a lot of people like to have some other frequently asked questions. It's like, how can I ensure, we already went over the insured receives number 1, but how do they get graded? How do you guys get graded? It's all right here for the taking. And it's pretty simple. Basically, you show up, you work your hardest in all these areas: workmanship, production, preparation, safety behavior, professionalism. Parents, if you're watching this, please look at it, because there's a rhyme and a reason if your son or daughter gets the grade that they do, whether that's high or low. If you have a question about something, let's say they don't do too well, you can definitely reach out to the teacher about this. whenever you can. Because shop, once again, when they get graded in shop, that's 60% of the 100 for shop final placement. So let's go back. And so now you know how to access my website. Let's go now to one of the last things. One of the frequently asked questions right here. If I'm in an advanced level class, some of you guys are in honors geometry, do I receive extra points towards final placement? You do not. Okay, an A in honors geometry is the same as an A in standard. So that should put that kaput. You don't get extra points. Just like, you know, students who need extra help with work and have extra support with other teachers, we don't give them extra points either. So keep that in mind, that we're trying to make everything equal for everyone. So, and then another one is, how do my shop teachers grade me? And obviously you saw it when you went to the website, but just in case, it is right here for the taking. I think that is it. I think I've covered almost everything. Oh, I'm just looking down at my notes here, but not only is it important to dress appropriately, remember we went over that in terms of how to find the shop dress code, but don't follow your friends. And I'm gonna say that is when you're choosing your shops, do not follow your friends, because your friend today might not be a friend tomorrow. And if you get put in, if I'm best friends with Sally Jane and I get put in the same shop as her, guess who's staying in for the days that you're in there together? You. So now that's it. Make sure you don't follow based upon friends, but based upon true interest levels. This is your exploratory. You get one shot at it. So why not do it right? Keep in mind, exploratory is 1 week at a time for 8 weeks. All right, you get 8 different shops, one being a non-traditional. Don't forget to put that down. And if you have any questions, you're going to be able to ask them for me in our meeting shortly. So try to digest this information, but it should be very helpful moving forward. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a good day, guys.